Welcome back to the Immigrant Section. I'm your host, Abbas Wahab. Sitting with me today is the very funny Jesse Singh.
What's poppin'?
Thanks for coming in, brother. God damn.
Thank you for having me.
You know, I've been trying, bro. I've been trying. What was that show you were just talking about? What were you telling me about?
When They See Us on Netflix.
What's that all about?
Yo, okay, so basically back in like the 90s or 89 or whatever, there was this case where this white lady was raped in New York City in Central Park.
Oh, shit.
And then these five kids, there was like 4 of them were black, 1 of them was Hispanic, got wrongfully convicted. But the cops and basically the law enforcement tried to like accuse, like basically made them look guilty and said
like doctored everything?
Yeah, and said that they were the ones that raped her. And like they went to court and everything. They went to fucking prison. And one of the kids was tried as an adult and the kid was 16. Man did 14 years in prison for a rape they never committed.
And then how did they find out? I feel like there's so many people in prison right now.
Yeah, it's fucking nuts. But like, should I just
they're not CSI in their cases, you know? They're only CSI in the... So how did this all get exposed? Like DNA?
Nah, so the person that did it was already in jail for a previous rape.
Oh, shit.
And he admitted, and it was like, yo, I did it. And it was like, but this was 15 years after. And even after the man admitted it, the fucking prosecutor and the cops were still trying to say, nah, it's them. That was just a 6th dude.
Yeah, right? Like, no, Steve, you're racist.
Yeah,
okay,
no,
all right?
Fuck.
He admitted it.
Yeah.
Was the guy just trying to, like, release his conscience or something like that?
Yeah, the man turned Christian.
Yeah. He was born again?
Bro, that's all that happens when you go to prison. You either turn gay, you turn Muslim, or you turn Christian.
Yeah,
that's it,
right?
bro.
Yeah.
One of 3 things.
Yeah, right? You either find God or find dick.
That's basically it, bro.
That's the thing, right?
Yeah.
You know, you got nothing else besides that. Yo, thanks for coming in, bro. You and I, man, we're you know, there's a lot of comics. You run into each other. Yo, what's good? Let's go. And then it's just kind of done.
Yeah.
So I never really like had like a legit long conversation with you. I feel like I know you, but I don't know you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I got you. Yeah.
So what's your like? I do like try to get immigrant backstories and shit. Like I'm assuming you're immigrant, bro. You're gonna tell me that you're 4th generation or some shit?
Nah, well, I was born here.
No.
But like my mom's and my dad are from India.
Yeah. Okay.
And they immigrated here
As a couple?
Yeah. But my dad left when I was like 8.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
So they're trying to... So did they come here to birth you to get you that paper?
Basically.
Yeah, that's the game.
Yeah.
You're like the 4th guy on this podcast.
Yeah, they popped me
scheme.
up. Well, they were actually sponsored by... There was one of my uncles that sponsored like 15 fucking people, bro.
Yeah, legit?
Yeah. Then,
he had a fucking Western Union.
that was basically it, bro. Man was just handing out these fucking green cards like he was Costco, you know? And then they showed up. They immigrated here, gave birth to me. And English wasn't even my first language. It was actually Punjabi.
Yeah. Because Indians have that. It's really good, man. The way I grew up, because did you grow up in a community that had a lot of Punjabis around you?
No, it was all Italians.
It's all Italians.
Yeah.
But you kept the language. You spoke it all the time at home.
Yeah.
See, growing up, my dad would speak English to us at home to help us improve our English because he spoke English. And my mom would speak Arabic. So we just like gravitate to it. Slowly, you just speak more and more English. So my Arabic fucking sucks. It's one of my bigger regrets. I still can, work on it and all that.
But the thing is, like, my mom spoke English, but it was horrible English. Like, the grammar was wrong. So, like, I would speak...
Oh, my mom, too. Same
but,
shit.
like, I would say shit that didn't make sense. Like, they were, like, instead of saying, like, I'm using the computer, she would say I'm doing the computer.
Yeah.
So, like, I would go to
And you wouldn't correct her.
Yeah, and I would go to school saying that. They'll be like, oh, Jesse, what do you like? I'm like, I like to do the computer. It's like, I'm fucking my electronic appliances. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right? Jesse's asking Jeeves some appropriate shit. He's just fucking the floppy disk right now.
Oh, fuck.
So you grew up in Vaughan or?
No, so I grew up in Jane and Finch, and then when I was
shout out to Jane and Finch, you may have heard it in various Drake lyrics.
And then I moved to...
That's our Compton. That's Toronto's Compton.
Basically, but I wouldn't
it's
say
not
it's
nearly that bad. But people make it sound like that, man.
They make
I told
it sound
you
like it's the worst shit.
Before I moved to, I grew up in London. It was like 2 hours away from Toronto. People be like, man, like the Toronto cats that would come to London, and I was in a subsidized neighborhood too called Limberlost.
Yeah.
And they'd be like, yo,
Limberlost?
Limberlost, bro. Yeah, man.
Fuck
You're
that,
not
I'm not
making
gonna
it
walk
out of
around
this shit.
Limberlost.
Yeah, bro. You can't be inspired when Lost is in the name of the neighborhood.
That
right?
sounds like a place you go to get lynched. That
Yeah,
sounds
right,
like Get Out was
right.
shot at Limberlost.
Literally, man. That's why they planted all these trees up in there, you know? I know what this program's about. But yeah, the Toronto cats would come down and be talking about, yo, you don't know nothing about Jane and Finch. Yo, man's is
man, it
getting
wasn't
shot
even-
out there. I used to drive Uber. I dropped some kids off at Jane and Finch.
Yeah.
It's pretty nice. It looked like it's gentrified right now or something, or in the middle of it.
And it is in the middle of it. Like honestly, if you were from the community, like there wasn't anything really that no one really bothered you. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
As long as you didn't act stupid.
Exactly. You fucking keep your head down when you walk at night.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You don't make a lot of direct eye contact, but you don't back down too,
Yeah,
right?
that's
You
it,
walk your path. There's a lot of like unspoken hood rules. You know what I mean?
100%.
You can't show weakness. You can't be your phone out and shit like that, you know?
Don't wear the wrong colors.
Exactly, right? Just keep it dark.
Yeah.
Keep it low key. Keep moving. Don't show fucking fear. That's man. The hoodlums can smell fear like Rottweilers.
I
bro.
made that mistake once. I got robbed at 6 a.m.
Yeah. Okay. Do tell.
I was going to work, right, and I had to meet up with my friend at his building, and I was walking, right, and I seen these two dudes coming towards me.
Why were you going to your friend at 6 a.m.?
Oh, I got a ride from him to go to work.
Oh, okay.
It was his Filipino mom.
Okay, you're carpooling.
Yeah.
Just another hood story.
Yeah,
Separate hood story.
Yeah, that's it. So I used to wake up at 6 a.m, go meet at his building, and we used to carpool to go to work, right?
Before Uber.
Yeah, this was way before Uber. So I was walking over to the man's building, and then I seen these two guys walking towards me with their hoods on. Yeah. Now I seen them see me.
Yeah.
And like in my head, it was the same idea. I'm like, yo, I don't want to look like a pussy. So I made eye contact with them, with chain out, headphones on, everything. So I made sure I grilled them.
Yeah.
And I kept walking. Then I look over on my left side, and I see these same guys walking in the same direction. But I'm like, yo, that's weird. Because 2 seconds ago, they were walking towards me. Why are they walking this way? And then immediately I knew. I'm like, they're going to jump me. But like, I still didn't want to look like a bitch.
So you didn't run?
No, I didn't run.
Yeah.
And I went to the back of the building. I could have easily walked to the front, but I went to the back.
As if to say, if you want to come back here, find out what you'll face.
And I walked to the back, and as soon as I walked to the back, one of them brushed me, and I froze. I'm like, fuck, bro. I'm like, it's 6 a.m, and he's like, yo, so what? He's like, yo, so what is it, doggy? I'm like, bro, it's 6 a.m. Like, I'm just trying to go to work, and I didn't see the dude behind me. He grabbed my bag, he pulled me to the floor, and then he was trying to grab my phone from my pocket, and I put my hand over my pocket. I'm like, nah, I'm not giving you my phone. And then they reached in, and then they grabbed my phone, and the man took a knife out. So I'm like, all right, fuck it, take my shit.
All right, okay, you can have the phone.
Yeah.
All right, take the phone.
Just take the phone, bro.
Possible death? Okay.
And then I walk
phone.
inside, and I tell my friend, I'm like, yo, come outside and help me look for these dudes. Because after they robbed me, they ran. I'm like, you have a weapon. Why are you running? You know what I mean? And I get up and I walk inside. I'm like, yo, come and help me find these guys. And he's like, nah, bro, I'm calling the cops. I'm like, do not do that, right? That is the one thing you don't do.
Yeah.
And then he's like, nah, bro, I'm calling them. And he calls them. And the cops pull up and they're asking.
And it was them. It was those same two guys. Oh, fuck.
And they're fucking asking me. They're like, yo, they were asking me for a description, whatever, and then his partner looks at him and he goes, yo, so what are you gonna do? He's like, oh, I'm probably gonna go to Tim Hortons, grab a bagel, coffee, and then I'm gonna go back to the station and write the report. I'm like, why the fuck would you say that in front of me?
He said,
go write the report, bro.
Yeah, right.
Fucking grabbing breakfast out here, shitting bricks.
Right? Like, are you not trying to stop perpetuating of stereotypes? You're literally like, well, I'm gonna grab some donuts and then guess I'll do cop work after that, right?
Piece of shit.
Wow. That's so funny. I just expected them to be like, so who's snitching first? Like they're fucking working for the actual gangsters. So the dudes who robbed you, when you said the first thing he said to you was, so what it is? Or
No, the man's like, so what is it? Like,
As in, like, so what are we gonna do?
yeah.
So, like, what are we gonna do?
And I'm like, I don't know if that's a rhetorical question.
Yeah,
or do you
right.
want that fucking answer?
Like,
Like,
you know you're gonna rob me. Just do it. Just do it.
6 a.m, bro. I still got eye crust. I still have morning wood. You ever get robbed with a
Yeah.
boner? You know how fucking weird that is, bro?
This is a bit right now, man. This is a bit. Yeah. I get those are tags.
Oh, fuck.
Shit, man. How long did you stay in that neighborhood?
Until I moved out when I was about, I want to say 19.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And where'd you go?
Woodbridge now.
Shit, and you've been there.
In Woodbridge?
Yeah.
Yeah. I've only lived in 2 places.
You always live in these very Italian areas, huh?
Which is weird, yeah, because the one like in my street, when I lived in Jane and Finch was all Italians, but right around the corner is when there was like Somalis, Jamaican,
Yeah.
African, but like my street was always Italian, and like my neighbor was like super racist, but she was also very nice.
Okay, yeah,
Which
I
is
get.
weird,
Oh,
like, you know what I
that's
mean?
European style. You know what I mean?
She was old school.
It's like
'cause-
peace. It's like for the sake of peace.
Yeah.
You'll be nice, but there's deep racism.
No, I don't even think it was that. I think it was literally just ignorance. Cause like when I was younger, I used to have a turban, so my
Yeah.
hair was long.
Yeah.
And like my neighbor would always take care of us, but she would always be like, Jesse, you have to cut hair. Jesus no like. You look like girl. Like, you know what I mean? She was basically
Yeah.
saying I look like a girl.
Oh, like it was a religious thing.
Yeah. But
Like
she didn't get that. You know what I mean?
That's so jokes. Did your family? Did your family take care of the lawn and take care of the house and stuff
No,
like
the
that?
Italian people did.
For your property.
Yeah, there was this old dude named Tony who like one day he came into our back. I forgot why. He just came into the backyard and he saw it and he was fucking horrified because no one was taking care of the lawn and
Oh, of
shit.
course not.
So he walked in and he
First
saw it and
generation.
he was fucking petrified. And after he's like, what's wrong? Like, what's wrong with this? I'm like, no one has time to like cut it and stuff. And after he's like, I'll do it. I'm like, yo, we don't really have money to pay you. And he's like, no, I want to do it for free. Like this guy was like,
He's like, I'm that Italian.
yeah, he's like,
"Oh,
he's like, you can't live in this, you know? And he would like garden tomatoes and shit for us. It was fucking dope, bro.
That's amazing. That's actually like a Italian stereotype, like gardening tomatoes. That's hilarious.
Oh, he
I've heard
gardened zucchinis, all of that, bro.
dude, I had Paul Cicchio on here, the other Italian
Yeah.
comic. He's talking about his dad growing tomatoes. There's something about growing tomatoes that I feel like maybe we're getting just.
There was some, I don't know what kind of fucking tomatoes.
Are they
but
pulling a fast one on us in
was
like
some-
grocery stores with these tomatoes? Like, why is everyone growing there? Are they super easy to grow?
I don't know, but they tasted way better than no frills tomatoes. I'll tell you that much. There was
Yo,
some
I
good fucking
don't understand
tomatoes.
people that don't like tomatoes.
I don't fuck with tomatoes like
You
that.
don't fuck with tomatoes?
Not like that. Like I wouldn't put it in like a burger.
What?
It's not my
Are
thing.
you serious,
bro.
dude?
Yeah, nah, bro.
Oh my God! What
Like,
about?
maybe once in a while, but like it's not like.
Wow! Not even a little olive oil, salt, and pepper, just in the morning. Ooh, with them eggs.
Nah, bro.
No, not
Fucking tomato.
that.
That's like, you know what I
Nah,
mean?
bro, I don't fuck around like that. Yo, so what it is?
I fuck with pickles.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, now we're just talking about how we're eating our sandwiches.
Nah, in
Fuck with
general, I'll
pickles.
just eat a pickle.
Just like sliced or like
The whole
a
pickle.
pregnant woman, huh?
Pregnant women like pickles?
Apparently they crave them. That's like one of the things pregnant women crave.
Why?
I don't know. It's one of those random facts waiting in line at a grocery store, like from the front of a fucking magazine. Like,
What
pickles. Why you want pickles?
That's crazy.
Yeah, I don't
You
know.
know what else is a random? It's not a random fact, but I saw
It's a random fact.
saw this video where a chimp
Yeah.
jerked himself off with a frog.
Yeah, he used that frog
He
pussy.
just it was like
With the mouth or
the mouth, bro, like
Oh.
a fucking fleshlight, but he
Damn.
used the frog. He
Dude,
just-
that actually sounds like a frog is stretchy as shit.
he
dude.
fucked the shit out of that frog, bro. That is the worst way to go. That frog had the worst death. Like, you know what I mean? How did you
I hope
die?
that frog wasn't a prince. It's just like he's not going back to
I got
shit.
fucked by Caesar by Planet of the Apes. That's what happened, bro.
You kiss a frog, goes back to a prince. You fuck a frog in the face. What
Yeah.
does it go back to? It just becomes a stripper or what?
A Japanese girl in a bukkake video.
Yeah. She used to be a frog who was fucked in the face by a chimp.
Shit's
The
nuts.
circle of life. So, what made you get into? What made you think like, yo, I'm gonna get into stand up?
It actually started. It's weird, yo. I've always been a huge fan of it. I remember growing up, like Dave Chappelle is one of my favorite
Same
comedians.
here, man.
He's like, he's probably is my favorite comedian. And like growing up, I watched a lot of him.
What do you like, For What It's Worth or Killing Them Softly more?
Which one? Killing Them Softly is
Killing
the
Them
one?
Softly is the
What
blue
is he
shirt,
wearing?
and For What
Killing
It's
Them
Worth,
Softly.
yellow shirt.
Killing Them Softly.
Yellow shirt, gray blazer.
I like Killing Them Softly.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
think that one was classic.
I like For What It's Worth. The Killing Them Softly's got the baby
they're
joke.
both classic.
Hey baby.
Yeah. Hey baby.
Dude, the best. It's something about Chappelle, just because he kind of like, he spoke to me in the sense that in his comedy, you could tell he was kind of like in a scenario of growing up that was similar to my own, like kind of
I got you.
being that black kid in like the white class.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I had other black kids that I grew up with, but I was the only one in my grade. I knew kids in grade 6 and grade 8. I was the only one in 7th grade.
Yeah.
So it's like my classes, I was the only one, right?
But one thing I always admired about him too was that it was a lot deeper than just stand up. You know, like it was
social
always,
commentary.
Yeah, there was always also always an underlying message that he was passing on. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
always.
And one of the biggest things too was when I started getting into stand up, like actually wanting to do it, I would watch like comedians and I would try to study them. Like I would try to see how they set up their jokes, when they put their punchlines in, how do they like segue into it. But Dave Chappelle was one person I could never do that with because he's so like conversational. Like he makes it look so fucking natural.
If you write out a Chappelle joke, you're like, "Where's the punchline here?
You can't tell.
What's funny here? I don't get.
You
know,
can't see the tags. You can't see none of that. It's just he's just so natural.
It's his flow, yeah. Because he's been in the game since he was 14.
Oh yeah, this guy's fucking.
Like he's got that one joke in For What It's Worth, who was talking about like the Elizabeth Smart getting kidnapped. And he's saying like, "Oh, I guess she wasn't that smart, right?" Like,
oh yeah.
And because she was 15, right? And the whole country's like, 15 is so. And then at the same time, he was like, 15-year-old black kid practices wrestling move on his neighbor, and they try him as an adult when he kills that kid.
Yeah.
So he's like, 15, both, you got to decide once and for all how old is 15 really?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm like, yeah, that's a fucking great point. And then he drops like 3 bits. It's like sometimes he'll have a point that's so like deep and true. It's almost like you're like, and then like he'll whip the jokes down right away. You're like, oh yeah, this is a comedy show.
And he was so good at that, man. He was so good at building that tension and just breaking it, you know? And like that's something that I admired a lot from. But like going back to the question, I guess, like when I actually got into it was, so I've always been a huge fan of it from the beginning. But in high school, I used to do a lot of like improv and like sketch comedy.
Yeah.
Just with like drama classes.
Oh,
and,
yeah?
Like, and like that actually helped me from like not getting robbed a couple times.
Yeah.
There used to be like,
yo, give me your wallet, fam.
Yeah.
Yes, and
no, but like there was like, cause I remember there was always these dudes posted up behind the high school, like when we would walk home, and like they would always wait for kids to like take their wallet or their phone, and then they saw us, and one of the dudes tried to run up on me, but they couldn't rob shit because I was too broke. I didn't have no money, so they couldn't take anything.
You just apologize.
Yeah, they just couldn't take it. Well, I'm sorry, I don't have nothing for today. Like, you know what I mean? But like, they would try to rob me, but I was too broke to rob. But also, they would just see me and be like, yo, nah, that kid, they allow him, like, he's funny.
Yeah.
Because like we would do performances for assemblies and shit.
Yeah, you entertain the thugs.
Yeah, that was basically
I mean?
it, bro. And I got respect for that.
Yeah,
and,
man.
And after a while, like a lot of people just started saying like, "Yo, you should try stand up. You should try stand up." And then I tried it, and I just got hooked, man. That's it.
Fucking amazing. We'll be right back after these messages. Is your hair falling out? Oh, man. I fucking don't have shit for sponsors. Dude, man, my shit's actually fucked up. I know that I made that joke, but yo, Rogaine actually works. This is not a plug at all for that. Yeah. I thought all that shit was bullshit, like dick pills and shit.
Yeah.
Yo, it's kind of working a little bit. It gets a little fuzz going. You know what I mean?
Vibe is legit, but I don't know about the Rogaine.
No. Not like not to make your dick hard, to make your dick big.
Make your dick big?
Yeah, on the internet, you know, like dick enlargement pills, all that bullshit for stupid people, right? Yeah. That's what I thought the hair stuff was. But this Rogaine, it's doing something, legit. You know. It's making the elevator reflection a little less harsh. You know what I mean?
The most fucked up joke I heard today was when I was at work. One of the kids said like, "Yo, Jesse, how come your head top looks like an ocean with no waves?"
Oh my god.
And I'm like, yo, I couldn't even get
You
mad.
wrote that shit down.
I'm like, I couldn't even get mad. That was a solid joke,
Yeah,
bro.
you little fuck. That's hilarious. I'm gonna open with that tonight.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, actually, that's you. I know you got a lot of your jokes about used to do a lot of work with kids and like after school programs, and now you work at like a youth shelter, huh?
Yeah.
That's crazy. You got that amazing like, you got that sick attitude and like gentleness about you, but also you got like this thugness about you that I feel like kids would open up to you. You know, like tough kids.
I
You can
mean,
get through to them. I
I
don't know.
Yeah, no, I feel like it's just like even at work. Honestly, to be completely honest, I'm surprised I haven't gotten fired yet because I've said a lot of outlandish shit. But
Like what?
what? Okay, so one of my
Like what are your responsibilities like for the most part?
well, right now I work for the employment program.
Okay.
So like basically, I'm in charge of like helping these guys find jobs or like just
Right,
like
resumes and shit.
facilitating workshops and stuff like
Yeah.
that. But the thing that I like about it is like the classes that I'm facilitating, I get full creative control, so I could do it however I want.
Okay,
You know what I
sick.
mean? So I just like I try to make it fun as possible. But like for instance, some of the shit like because we have open mic nights there.
Oh no! Oh, legit! Huh? You
and then I'll
foster
do
that.
and I'll
That's
do
sick, man.
and I'll do like some of my material, but like after every joke, I'll be like, "Yo, sorry," like to the manager because the manager's watching right
Oh,
there. But I'll
yeah.
be saying, and I'll talk shit to the kids. Like if they start like beaking at me or heckling, I'll
You
just
go in
shut
on 'em.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm like, "Yo, bro, what the fuck? This is my platform. Like, don't fuck with me." You know
Do
what
they
I mean?
go up too?
Yeah, man. Yeah. They sing spoken word. We got like there's a lot of talented people.
Yeah, man. A lot of those like pressure scenarios and like the rough, so to speak, diamonds come out of that shit.
For
you know
sure,
what I mean?
man. 100%, dude. And like.
Do you got any like talented geniuses that are emotionally fucked up and you're trying to like get through to them? But they're like there's you could hear them sing in the bathroom or
Oh,
like
fuck.
you could
Well,
hear them or dance when no one is watching. Like my God, if I could just get through to Michael, he'd be the fucking next star. If I could just get through to
Man, like that was like honestly one of the main reasons why I even like sparked the interest in working with like young people or like at a shelter and whatever the case is. Wasn't like I wasn't really going into it like I'm gonna help them because they're broken. It was more so like, yo, you weren't dealt the same hand that a lot of people were dealt, and your situation was kind of fucked up. So like I just want to give you a level playing field. You know what I mean? Because I feel like if everyone has that sort of like at least equal place to start off from, then everyone has that equitable, equal opportunity. But
Yeah.
sometimes people don't have that head start, you know?
You're right.
And like it was through personal experiences too, like just
Were you
I-
ever in that program yourself?
no, but when I was living in Jane and Finch, I used to go to like Boys and Girls Club,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
at lunchtime and stuff, and a lot of the older people there were like role models to us, and they like
Just fucking bullet wounds and shit
Yeah,
like that.
basically,
Let's
but-
stay off the street,
yeah,
kids.
you know what I mean?
Let's do improv.
But yeah, man, I really like we looked up to them because like I grew up with a lot without a father figure, and a lot of my friends did as well. So like we try to find like positive male role models wherever we could, and I think like
Hell yeah.
through personal experience was one of the reasons why I even got into this field was just like what was basically that. It was never like I was never looking at any of these kids like, oh, they're broken. It was more like, yo, like I just want to put you in a position where I can support you so you have a level playing field to start off with. You know what I mean? I'm not going to hold your hand through this shit because you don't need that, right? But I'm just going to show you like there's a better
Yeah, man. You
avenue.
share your experience. Tell them your
100%,
story, right? Sit there
Yeah,
with
man.
them. They see somebody that's like hustling, and they're in a similar age group as you too.
A lot of them are.
yeah.
A majority of them actually don't know my age because some of them
Yeah.
are older than me.
Yeah, so you gotta keep
so
that
it's
shit
like,
on the
yeah.
down low, huh?
So it's like, yo, I can't be teaching a fucking class and you're like,
yeah, right.
But you meet a lot of interesting people, man. Like, for one of the programs that I was running for the employment program, there was a dude in there who had been into jail for 7 years.
And how old was he?
He was 30.
Okay.
But he went into jail when he was 22. So for 7 years, this guy's never seen like fucking the outside world.
Yeah.
And it didn't click like until one time I was driving with him in the car, and I had Google Maps on, right?
Yeah.
And then Google Maps rerouted because there was construction, and the man looked at me and he goes, "Yo, Google knows when there's construction?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "That's crazy." And in my head, I'm like, in my head, I didn't even register that. I'm like, bro, this guy hasn't seen outside in 7 years.
That's fucking hilarious. And I just picture looking at a bird fly.
Yeah, but at the same...
The world ain't what I remember,
But
man.
at the same time, when like this is gonna sound super weird, but at the same time when I was with them, like I understood why girls go for dudes that are dicks, right? Because when I was with them, I felt safe. I'm like, bro, like, yo,
What's his name? What's his name?
I can't say the name, but like,
we'll say CJ. Okay,
yeah, we'll say
damn
CJ. I'm like, yo, I could walk with CJ fucking anywhere, bro.
You make me feel safe.
Yeah, dog. Like it was crazy.
What do you want to do later? Dude, that's hilarious, man.
Fuck.
Just fucking walking. Do you know that prison thing where they walk with a bandana and the bandana comes out of your pocket and your bitch holds the bandana and...
It was pocket, not a bandana.
Oh, it was just
you hold your pocket.
Oh,
you flip your pocket out. Yeah.
Okay, well, clearly I don't even know it.
Yeah,
I saw it, dude. I'm not gonna lie. I saw that premise in American Dad one time, and it was a bandana. So clearly,
now it's your pocket. If someone holds your pocket,
yeah,
they're your bitch.
I shouldn't have even brought it up.
So,
you know about all the? Did a lot of your boys growing up with? Did a lot of them do time?
Not my close friends, but I know friends of friends, and I know people that I went to high school with who either ended up in jail or are dead.
Yeah, man.
But like, you know, and like, I think that's like when you talk about Jane and Finch as a community of like, I think that bad reputation sort of instills in the young people, and they feel like they need to prove a point.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Like, because they see...
It's a cycle. It's like a circle kind
exactly,
of thing, right?
bro. Like, they see older generations behaving in a certain way. Not to say that they're bad influences. Some of these guys are great guys, but they've just been dealt a shit hand, and they don't have... Like, sometimes the easiest thing for them to do is make fast money.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
take.
Is take
Yeah.
or like run the streets, whatever the case is. But the difference is that they're doing it for survival. A lot of the younger generation see it as something that's cool, and they look up to that. So they try to overcompensate, and they get themselves into trouble that they don't need to get themselves into.
And in those cycles, one of the worst things that could happen is you don't get caught early, right?
100%.
Because you climb up to a point where you're like, fuck leaving this.
Yeah, and
go work as a teller at TD.
Yeah, bro, and it becomes addicting, man.
Exactly. Like, I'm like, I can't go back. I can't go to that.
Why the fuck would I be flipping burgers at McDonald's if I could be making way more money
10 times the amount
if I'm on the block? You know
exactly.
what I mean?
Cash.
Yeah, and it's like that. Like,
and then you get to a high level. It never ends well.
100%.
It never ends well. It's just when you get caught in the path.
Yeah.
The earlier the better, right?
Exactly, and I
Bro,
think.
I'm thankful for that. I used to steal when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I used to run, me and my brother and this kid named Nathan, back when I was 7, 8. We were supposed to be in camp. We would bike to Toys R Us.
Yeah.
And we would put games like we put our shirts over them, tuck them in our pants.
Yeah.
And then we'd go out and we'd smash them out of that protective casing. But I got caught when I was like 7, and the Toys R Us managers drove me to my house. And I got my ass beat, dude. It was 7 or 8, and I got a lifetime ban from Toys R Us as well.
Fuck,
the one in London, straight up. But that scared the shit. Arriving at the house with these 2 old white dudes, just being like, you just got caught for that moment, bro. That scared the fuck out of me. If you keep going hard for 10 years and you never get that moment, by the time you do get caught, you get caught with 2 keys of coke.
Yeah, it's too late, bro. That's what I'm saying. Like, same thing. I'm thankful I got. Well, I should have stopped way before it got to the point. I got fucking. But this was my fault because we were just garbage at it. I got charged for fraud under 5,000.
Small jump, Jay. That's hilarious. That's like an insult, you know? Fraud under 5,000. Petty crime.
But it was because I stole a comforter and a fucking pillow from a Walmart that I used to work at.
Wait, why is that? So is theft the charge for theft is
No,
fraud?
it was fraud because basically what happened was I was with one of my friends, and he used to do this scam where what you do is you pick up an item off the shelf, you buy the item,
Yeah.
right? Then you go back and then you pick up the same item from the shelf because it has the same barcode.
Yeah, same. Yeah,
And then
UPC.
you return it
Yeah.
and you get the money back, but you still keep the item.
Yeah.
So you basically got the item for free.
Yeah.
That's why it was fraud, because
Okay.
you know what I mean? You're not actually stealing.
Yeah.
You're
You're just
scamming.
robbing it and you're getting cash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what happened though was
How'd you get caught?
Listen, let me tell you. I walk into the Walmart, right?
Yeah.
I don't know why. It's stupid of me to choose the same Walmart that I worked at, first of all. But I walk into the Walmart with my friend. I hail up everybody. I see my manager, hail him up. I see my coworkers, hail him. Yeah, just like, yo, what's going on? Yo, you guys good?
Yeah, what it is.
We pick up the stuff. And then I look at my friend and I'm like, yo, did you do it yet? And then my manager's standing right there. He's like, do what? I'm like, nah, nothing. And then I take his card. So I go to customer service to get the money back on the card. But I forgot the PIN. So I call my friend while I'm standing at customer service for the PIN.
Yeah.
And then we're leaving. We're walking out. All of a sudden, security grabs me, pulls me into the office. And they're like, yo, what the fuck you guys doing? Right? He's like, you work here, bro. and then he's like, and then he went on this whole rant about how we have to call the cops. And then we looked over at the security camera. And basically, he's like, I can tell you guys haven't done this before because you had to call him to figure out what the fucking pin was. And on the footage, it looks so stupid, bro.
Like it was clear what was happening.
Yeah, it was very fucking
So
evident.
while he was on the phone and you were on the phone, you were both seen in footage. Oh my god.
And oh man.
So the cops came?
Cops came, they fucking
Handcuffs?
No, and they were doing this good cop, bad cop shit. Like one of the guys was like super nice. He's like, yo man, it's your first time. I understand. You guys fucked up. The other guy's like, and the other guy was just getting in our face. He's like, oh, people work hard for this. Da, 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 da. And then he's like, this can go either one of two ways. He's like, the first one,
Rape or rape.
he's like, the first one, I give you guys a warning. You get out of here. He's like, second option, we charge you right here, right now. And he's like, I don't usually go the easy way. And then he fucking walks off and he comes back and he's like, we're going with option 2. We're charging you. Now, this is the other fucked up part. My friend wasn't even a citizen. So I was afraid that this guy's gonna get deported because he robbed a fucking comforter.
The ironic shit.
Oh, fuck, bro.
Yo, the man needs to sleep, bro. Oh, dude, that's hilarious. How old were you when this happened?
Yo, if I tell you that, it's gonna sound even more dumb, bro. This shit happened like
6 weeks ago?
3 years ago. I was 20. I wasn't even a young kid, bro. I was a grown-ass man.
That's hilarious, guy. But so it ran its whole course in court. How did it go? How's the court proceeding?
It was a petty fucking charge, but because it was our first time having to go through court and shit, we were shook. Yeah. So we got a paralegal and all of that, and then basically
you paid for a paralegal.
Yeah.
Did you get the automatic court-appointed defender at any point?
What does that mean?
Like the court-appointed, like if you can't afford legal counsel,
Oh no!
They
We
have to
actually
provide
got
one
like an
too.
actual paralegal. Like we paid for a paralegal.
Yeah.
And then he came and then he represented us.
Yeah.
But
were you in suits and shit?
No.
Yeah.
But like he went to the court hearing for us
On your behalf.
Yeah,
Okay.
And then he got us a deal, and it was just community service hours. And then after that, we were good. But we had to do fingerprints and shit. We had to go to the station to actually get fucking fingerprinted done.
Did you see your thugs when you were there, like at the station?
Nah, it was just us. But
Like,
it was like
they walk you through, like, look at this.
And
is this the road?
But the thing is, I found out afterwards is that we didn't even need to hire the paralegal. We would have gotten the same fucking deal if we went in ourselves.
Guy, that's it. If you ever got a speeding ticket, it always works like that. They always do the same thing.
Yeah.
They say you have to plead guilty and do a plea bargain where they cut the consequences in half, pretty much.
Yeah, but
either way, they're gonna do that. You just paid a paralegal.
Yeah, but we were just scared shitless,
Oh, yeah,
bro.
same.
Because
I
I'm
did
like,
the
this
same
guy's gonna
thing.
get fucking deported. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
For
I
a
did the
pillow.
same thing with my first speeding ticket. I was like, oh fuck, I gotta fight this.
Yeah.
Would they actually deport you for that shit? Do you know anybody actually?
No, bro.
No.
They would. We were just scared.
Yeah,
But like, it wasn't an actual criminal offense.
Yeah,
like,
okay.
You know what I mean? Like,
It's not under 5,000 is not considered criminal.
I don't think so.
It's a misdemeanor, and you would get kicked out if you had like other things on your temp visa or whatever. Like if you had already broken some rules and then you commit a crime, they would kick you out. But I think the only time they really ever go like you're a landed immigrant and we're gonna force you now to go back is if you've committed like a violent crime.
Yeah.
And I think it's still within like 9 years. Like if it's 15 years after you're a landed immigrant, I think then they go like, no, we can't undo this now.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
like a
that makes
certain
sense.
It's a certain amount of time where they could go, oh, we made a mistake. Your immigration thing shouldn't have been approved because we weren't aware that you were committing had committed a violent crime or were part of an ongoing criminal conspiracy. And also, if you commit immigration-related fraud, then you're fucked.
Yeah. Oh, of course. Yeah. 'cause
Where-
Like if you're a landed
there's no
immigrant
mercy for that.
and then you try and help other people get in by rigging the system, then they fuck with you big time.
Where the fuck were you when we dropped 5 bills on a paralegal?
Yeah.
We didn't need to.
Imagine. Yeah.
This information would have been so much more helpful. then.
Imagine a random white dude comes out of nowhere. Hey,
Yeah.
misdemeanors. You should probably. They won't send him back. Yeah, yeah, it's true. That 9-year. That's a good point because, like, imagine sending a Syrian dude who came here in 2007
Well,
back to Syria right now. It's like, yo.
And that's the other thing is sometimes that literally the first set of rules says, okay, it's time to kick this guy out. He has to go back. But if it's a country like Syria or it's like different for specific countries. Like if you're gay and you're from Uganda, no
That's
matter
like certain death.
no matter what, Canada cannot send you back.
Yeah.
So you would even do like
Yeah.
a small amount of jail time here and then still get out.
Yeah. Okay,
That's
absolutely.
crazy.
Yeah.
They can't ever put you in harm's way, and they
Yes.
also can't allow you to like expose other new Canadians to like harm. So that it's a very complicated thing. It's like not the legal system does not treat people with temp visas or newly landed immigrants the same as like naturally born citizens.
Oh,
It's
of course
not the same.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Especially in terms with immigration fraud, like you were saying.
Exactly. Yeah, that's probably. I think they actually probably pay way more attention to
happens,
that
though.
than
Yo.
like immigrants committing petty crimes kind of thing. Like they are much more upset when you defraud the government than get caught stealing like something under $5,000. Like that's not what they're upset about.
And you think it's easier than you think, okay? People very close to me in my own family, the way they got into this country is they just came here with their brother's passport.
Holy shit.
And then their brother just claimed that they lost their passport.
That was
Did all the paperwork to get it again. And then once you are in the country long enough, or once you're in the country and because I'm from Sudan, so it's like if you can make the case for it, you can pretty much once you're already here is very easy. There's a very like paved path for you to go refugee to permanent to like stay status kind of thing. Once you are here and they're not like how'd you get here kind of thing. You're just like I'm here, and like I don't have papers. Another buddy of mine, Afghani guy I grew up with, his whole family back in. Like his dad worked in like UAE, they just paid for fake passports
Holy shit.
and entered Canada on fake Canadian passports, and then literally did the same thing. Once they were here, they went refugee route. People get in like that, bro. There
That's
is a market.
crazy.
It's not just the movies.
Yeah.
I was shocked by that shit, dude. Have you ever gone back to India?
Oh, I was young though, man. I was like 8 years old. So
Yeah.
Like I
Oh,
barely
so you still remember?
like barely.
Yeah.
But like I guess I didn't get I didn't really appreciate it as much as I didn't really. Yeah, I guess I didn't really get the full experience because I was still a kid.
Yeah,
You know what
it's
I mean,
just
if
like.
I went back now, it would probably be different. But
Would you go?
yeah,
Yeah.
I definitely want to go. There's a lot of places I actually want to check. I really want to check out Tibet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just for like, cause you like into monk shit, or you just
Yeah, like I just feel like because they're so disconnected from like, I guess like the regular media like social media aspect and like all that shit. They're not like really influenced by that,
Tibet, those are the ones in like the orange monk outfits, right?
they're like
Guy, those guys, I used to work at Best Buy. They would just get, 4 of them would just come in with their hands behind their back with great honor, just walking up and down the iPod aisles. I'm like, what the fuck?
yeah, just
They're like 8,000 songs. Very impressive.
no connect Samsung.
Yeah, right? That's like Japanese / Korean right there. That's just
I don't know what
racist,
that- yeah, I
bro.
don't
You
know
just
what the fuck that was.
you fuck. That's just ignorant. That was just ignorant. Well, so what's the? You're still a young cat. You're pretty much the same. What's your? If you're being honest, what's your long-term goals in this game?
In comedy
Yeah,
or just in
have
life
you
in general?
Yeah, let's say life. I mean, in comedy specifically, I'm talking just because I have a lot of comics on.
I guess comedy specifically, like honestly, man, I don't need like I know a lot of people say it, but I don't need that fame. Like I don't need to be on like Dave Chappelle level. I don't even think Chappelle wanted to be at that level.
No,
I think
specifically
that just happened,
didn't.
But I just want to get to a point where I could say comedy is my career, and I'm making a living off of it comfortably. Like, I can have a family.
Doing what you, living on your own terms.
Exactly.
Hell yeah, man.
And that's the position where I want to get to, cause like I like not being in, like I like having my own space and stuff too. You know what I mean? So like I want time to myself. And if you're at that caliber where Russell Peters is at or Dave Chappelle is at, like you can't even go down the fucking street anymore. Without a whole crowd of people walking.
There's very comfortable space. Way like Kevin Hart is the example. He's at the stratosphere, right?
Yeah.
There's way more comfortable places in the middle.
Yeah.
And way lower where you've achieved your means, your family's eating, you're doing everything you want.
Yeah, man. And that's like that to me would be the ideal position where I could have a family and just do comedy and like live off of that,
Do you ever worry that like one day when you end up getting, when the success starts flowing in, you start hearing more yeses, money starts becoming less of a problem. Do you ever worry that your muse for writing, your muse for like your humor, your act, the spirit of your act will deteriorate because the struggle is kind of deteriorating? You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I know. I definitely hear what you're saying. I think right now, because right now I don't write my material, which is probably a bittersweet thing. But like the reason why I don't write is because I've tried writing, and the thing is, I just find, or anything in life, like to be honest, when I plan shit out and things don't go according to plan, it fucks me up. You know what I mean? And it derails me. The same way when I used to write, and like if I would like mess something up that I didn't write down, it would kind of fuck me up while I'm on stage.
Yeah, you're remembering words.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So instead of doing that, like instead of reciting shit, I would just think of a premise, I would think of a tag, and then I would go to different open mics and try to figure out a way to get to that tag as quick as possible, or that punchline as quick as possible. And then I would just cut the fat, like at smaller shows. I would try it at a club. If it worked at a club, then I would keep it. But like I would never have it in solid writing, because the joke would always change depending on how the crowd is, and I just found that made me more natural. So I feel like if you're at that stature, like what you're saying, if you start getting money, if you start getting a lot of yeses, there's also a lot more responsibility that comes with that as a comedian.
Yeah, you gotta deliver.
I mean? You gotta deliver.
Now you're headlining.
There's a lot more fucking pressure to come up with new shit all the time. You have to stay relevant, right? And I think that's my biggest fear, is that you get to a position where no one wants to book you anymore.
Yeah, because you're falling at it like you're just.
That's it.
I don't think so much we have to fear that. I just fear getting to a point where I'm living my life in a way that like is not relatable anymore. Yeah, where it's like,
or where comedy becomes a job, like where you're not having fun doing.
Yeah, like that bit that you wrote 2 years ago that you still do because it kills, but there's no love in it anymore at all.
Which one? Oh,
no, not you specifically.
Like
in general. Yeah. I love your face. Like, what the fuck are you talking about, bro?
No, bro. But I'm like, I'm glad you brought that up, because I have bits like that.
I have bits like
I have bits that I fucking hate doing, but like depending on the crowd that I'm in, they kill and I know they work and like.
But notice how they kill less now. Now that like your heart is not in it,
yeah,
they don't do as well as they used to do at the top, right?
But sometimes I just feel like, oh, fuck.
It's work. Yeah. Oh, fuck.
Like it's like this one terrorist bit I have about like a border story, and I'm like, fuck, like I'm a brown comic talking about a border story. Like everyone does that.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? And it's like it takes a lot out of you, yo.
That's a tough thing too, man. And I'm running to that right now with writing. There's so many things I want to write about my personal experience that I'm like, fuck, it's been written. But I'm like, it doesn't matter if it's been written, right? You know what I mean? Approach it with your viewpoint. Approach 100%. It with how you tell the story the way, because I want to tell about immigrant beatings. You know what I mean? Yeah. I was talking about how like when you grow up with with other immigrants, they may very well get beat in front of you, right? And as a kid, if your friend's parents are beating him, you can't let that beating affect you. You can't acknowledge the beating.
Yeah, you can't acknowledge that.
If everyone's watching TV and he gets beat, you gotta keep watching TV.
That's it.
You know, nobody gets to be affected by the beating. Otherwise, you may get absorbed into that shit. Like, so that's kind of the premise of it, right? Yeah. But when I first started, I was like, I want to talk about immigrant beatings, but I'm like, oh man, I've heard it like so many times, but I feel like getting discouraged that someone did a premise. Everything's been done already. Everything's been done.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. Is that every single idea or premise has already been touched on, but like that's where it becomes different. Is how you put your viewpoint on it, like making it your own. You know.
Yeah.
And yeah, man. Like I feel like the difference between like not the difference, sorry, but like I feel like it only becomes hacky if it's something that's been said before, you know, not necessarily the premise, but just the whole idea behind it. Like if I'm talking about Trump and I talk about how orange he is, everyone fucking talks about
Oh, yeah, exactly. Like, exactly, I mean? Right? But we talk about how uncomfortable airplane seats are.
Yeah, like it's like, yo, everyone's talked about that.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah,
but like what else can you talk about Trump? Like what else can you talk about those airplanes?
Yeah, maybe you love airplanes for some fucked up reason. Yeah, right? Maybe you love flying, you know?
Yeah. Bro.
And it's the same take on flight, but the other direction.
Exactly. You know?
I love the game, though. You know what I love about comedy? Because I've been like... I haven't been super... Growing up, I was never very super competitive, you know? As far as with anything physical.
Yeah.
Sports or anything like that. But always with like... the idea of being able to figure things out, I was always very competitive. So academically, I was always very competitive.
Yeah.
Until it got to the point where I just didn't give a fuck anymore in university because I was like, oh, we're just memorizing at this point. But like comedy is the hardest thing I've worked in my life. Easily, it's the hardest thing I've worked on, and it's the thing that like is so humbling because it's the thing that despite my effort and hours that I put in, I'm like. This is just like, I'm not even at the tip of the iceberg of figuring this shit out, you know?
It'll knock you the fuck out, bro.
Yeah, right? You think you want do one show and you're like, yes, I fucking got it. I'm the god. I'm the shit, you know?
Yeah.
And then you get humbled like 45 minutes later at that next stage, you know?
And I think that's one of the most beautiful things about it is that like you can't, like when I see comics that have an ego, I'm like, you're not doing it right. Because, you know what I mean? You can't be I just feel like you can't be prideful in an art form like this.
Yeah,
There's always going to be a point where, like, you get knocked on your ass.
Oh, yeah.
100%.
You got to get back up like nothing I've ever experienced.
Even Chappelle's fucking bombed. You know what I mean? And this dude's probably one of the greatest comics that, like, to me, ever lived.
He's my favorite. He's my favorite comic, and I think he's a living legend. As soon as he dies, we'll all be saying he's the best that ever lived.
100%.
But right now, because he's still alive, we say Pryor, we say Carlin, we say all the other guys, right? But as soon as Chappelle dies, we're all going to be like, oh, undisputed, the best.
And honestly, like, I would say... if Patrice O'Neal was still alive.
Patrice O'Neal, even if Patrice O'Neal was so divisive and was so raw that there was so many avenues of like, if he came up in this age, he got just the ass end of internet kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
If his whole career overlapped with this age, he'd be way
like that
bigger,
is someone that we need right now.
Yeah.
You know? And like when I was talking about in terms of like getting to a point where I'm comfortable doing comedy, I would feel like that is a level I would want to at least achieve. Is Patrice's level. He's not fucking huge.
Oh, I think, but yeah. Oh, without a doubt. I
Yeah,
think Patrice is.
But he was at a level where like he can get like he can live comfortably.
Yes, absolutely. And he
You know?
did. He did everything he
100%,
wanted.
yeah.
And he died because of it,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
he lived
fuck.
the way he fucking wanted, man.
Yeah, man.
But like, I think it was him that said it. I think he said all you need is 1,000 loyal. I think 1,000 loyal fans
Mhm.
to pretty much like support you with $100 worth of content a year.
Yeah.
That's all you need.
Yeah.
So that's all you try to cultivate as an entertainer, as a comedian, is just like as you hustle, as you come up, as you create content, just bring together a band of people that fuck with your shit, that really fuck with your shit.
100%.
And you're making it over and over, years and years. You don't need that. You're not going to cultivate that right away.
Yeah. And I think one of the biggest things that like in my opinion kind of changed the game is the whole social media aspect of it. You know what I mean? Like
The whole game's changed, bro.
Yeah.
Do you listen to Andrew Schulz about all this?
oh, he's fucking nuts, bro.
Andrew
He's
Schulz, bro?
Crazy, dude.
Yeah, man. He's
But-
very inspirational.
Yeah, but like I think that's what's kind of the challenge that I'm facing is having that social media presence, cuz like I'm not really on it that much, you know, and I fucking like I'm not a very tech savvy guy. I'm not big on the whole Instagram and like Facebook type shit, but you need it like as an entertainer, like you know what I mean? You
It's
need
the
to-
necessary vehicle.
you need
these
to be
days,
there,
bro.
Yeah, you need to be there, you know,
It's-
and like as much as people want to say it's watered down the game or whatever the case is, I wouldn't like.
It's not though. Think
It's
about
not
it.
like you have to change with as the game changes. You
Hey,
know? Otherwise
look,
you get left.
this
the fuck behind.
conversation right now, 10 years from now, this conversation, this podcast, over an hour, 10 years from now, whether we're in the game, whether we're not, people are going to be able to go back to this. New comics at that point
Yeah.
are going to be able to listen to the trajectory of their favorite comics, podcast by podcast, as they come up.
100%.
Right now, the way the podcast, because podcasting just kind of took off in the last 5 to 10 years, let's say 5 years.
Yeah.
Everybody, for the most part, that's the comedians that are in the game, there are established comedians who have already honed their stage voice.
And that's why, yeah,
So they're already at the end point as far as like they're pros starting podcasts. Now there's a whole wave of comedians and other people who, as they cultivate their talent, are on the podcast.
Yeah.
So people out there, whoever you're listening, if you're thinking about doing comedy, like I'm only like 4 years into that game, you know what I mean? And like 10 years from now, my podcasting appearance will be 14 years into the game. And there's everything in between. So I think podcasting is an amazing thing right now. People get to hear the come up.
for sure. But I think that's also like, and this isn't to like put down that remark or anything, but I think
Oh shit, what are you gonna say?
nah, I think I was gonna say that like I feel like a
Thought that was
lot of
pretty
people
good.
have that same mindset. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's what makes it difficult. Is that like that's why I think people see it as being oversaturated.
No,
because
no.
you wouldn't think it's oversaturated.
Because we're around comedians, bro. We're all talking about podcasts, but not comedians represent not
That's a
even
good-
a
yeah,
tenth
that's
of
a
a
good
percent.
point.
Keep in mind, we're like half your boys comics.
Yeah.
People you talk to, text message comics. You hear podcasts all the time. You think, oh, everybody's got one. You gotta have one, man. You gotta have one. It's part of your brand. If I have a show and you like my comedy, check out my podcast. If you like my podcast, come watch my stand-up. If you like the way that I talk, if you like the ideas that I have, if you like your sense of humor, fuck with my shit, you know? I'm putting
got
it
you.
out there, you know what I mean?
No, that makes sense.
There's enough people for everybody, guy. You know, they say the US population, only 10% of them consistently listens to podcasts. Right now, this is going to blow up. How many of them watch TV? At the peak, how many watch TV? 80%? Let's say podcasts get to that same level. We're still going up, man. There's people for everybody. If you just need 1,000,
Yeah.
there's 700 million groups of 1,000 in the world, roughly. Like, there is more than enough for everybody, bro. That's just math, bro. That's
No,
just
no,
math,
that's true. I
baby.
never really fucking
That's just
thought about
math.
it like
Yeah,
that. That's
yeah,
legit,
right.
buddy.
There's everything. There's so many people that have the mindset like, oh, like if you have it, it takes away from what that other person can get. No, man, there's enough out there for everybody, guy.
That's the fixed pie fallacy.
Exactly.
We're operating on a fixed number of resources, a fixed amount of money, a fixed amount of audience. Exactly. That's literally like an economic thing that it's as dumb and as limiting of an idea as you could have to think that like because a boss has 2 apples, therefore I have been deprived of my apple. It's fucking idiocy.
Yeah, I started like listening to Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
And then Joe Rogan had, let's say, Brendan Schaub on. So then I listened to Fighter and the Kid. And then on there, Andrew Santino comes on. So I listen to Whiskey Ginger, Bobby Lee, Tiger Belly. This past weekend, Theo Vaughn, congratulations, Chris D'Elia. All these people, you tune into the network, and then you see what everybody in the network is doing. You don't stick to that one person. Now I'm fans of all of them. I'm listening to all their shit.
Yeah, I, as a fan of comedy, that's how I know comedy is. Opie and Anthony would get uploaded on to YouTube. I would hear a comic on that show. I'd start following that comic. That comic has a podcast or makes a reference to another comedian. Now I'm following that comedian. And that's how it happens. Like, I never, like, turned on Comedy Central and was like, oh, a stand-up special from someone I've never heard of.
Exactly,
I'll take a listen. Nope. I listen to Legion of Skanks every single week. That's how I get introduced to new, younger comics from New York, is they have them on, then I listen to their podcast and so on. Like, I think that's the number one thing anyone in stand-up can do to promote yourself. Go on someone else's podcast and get their listeners to come back with you.
Exactly. That's why I'm saying everybody, all of us, we all have a point of view. The fact that you're doing stand-up, the fact that you're grinding stand-up, in my eyes, is enough to be like, you got to figure out what your thing is, and you should be podcasting that thing. And I should be coming on that podcast. You know what I mean? Like, guy, it's a family, bro. Keep in mind, like, we're all around comedians. We all got to get our own thing. If we all have 10,000 listeners, so what?
Yeah.
If we all have 5, like...
But you guys have similar audiences, but they're not always the same. So that's why it's...
Exactly.
I couldn't agree more. Like, you just say, like, well, this guy's comedy has appealed to similar audiences that my comedy appeals to. Therefore, why would I not want anyone who likes him give me a try? However, to keep the, like you said, it's a family. I want everyone who's a fan of me to be a fan of the people I actually like as well. Like, your jobs are not like simply to be like, oh, I got to be funny and then someone will magically find me and like me. It's like, no, you guys have to network with, with each other, foster the audience together.
Sure. Put your voice out there kind of thing. Just put your voice out there. That's what I think. I mean, I'm only 7 episodes into this thing, right? But like, I really feel like we should all... before I started
7 episodes in is ahead of the game, I would say. The vast majority of comedians will probably never have a podcast and probably will never go into this idea of like doing anything other than like the most basic stuff of like Facebook ads, promoting with flyers and shit like that. I think none of that possibly compares to going on someone else's podcast and performing well and being entertaining, and you convince the audience like, oh, I got one more thing to download on Mondays now.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, the end of the game is I'm going to keep doing this thing. I love doing it. The whole premise is, you know, back when I don't know if I even explained it, back in my high school, there was just a corner where all the immigrants would hang out between class and shit. You'd hear like Arabic and English and yo, Ali, yo, gay. That's all you would hear, shit like that, you know. Yo, what ya? You know what I mean? The Somalians hanging out, all that shit was just chill fobs. It was the best. Yeah. I'm like, let me recreate the same thing in podcast form. You know what I mean? You can call yours Escaping Jane and Finch. You know?
Little brown boy from the hood.
A little brown boy from the hood made it. Now, look at me. Remember when I was broke as fuck? Now I'm pulling up in the Rover truck. What do you think about Nav?
Nav?
Yeah.
Everyone fucking says I look like him.
Yeah, you do look like him, bro.
I look like
Nav.
Nav.
Look at the camera right now. I'm going to do a zoom in later on.
I look like Nav with the worst hairline.
Right, yeah, exactly. Remember when I was broke as fuck? Now I'm pulling up in the Rover. Bro, Nav is going to overdose soon, by the way. All that guy's lyrics is about doing drugs and being alone. I'm telling you, man. I'm connecting the dots, bro. Nav, he doesn't have. I like his music. He makes dope beats. Metro Boomin fucks with him. I'm concerned.
No, honestly, I've only heard like 2 tracks from this guy, but he sounds sad as fuck.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Sounds like he's going through some shit.
Yeah, all the time, bro. Yeah, you know, he's like, just bought a house, but I got no reason to go home. It's like, goddamn, bro.
Dude, have a good
Get
day,
a
bro.
dog, bro.
Fuck.
Get a dog, Nav. Gosh.
The emo rappers do kill themselves. Like
Yeah.
that's not baseless. Like fucking Lil Peep, a bunch of all these like new younger SoundCloud type rappers who are sort of like not necessarily emo rap, but like an emo style. Then they also rap. A lot of them kill themselves.
Yeah.
A lot of them OD
There's
on
deep
drugs.
depression, man. Yeah.
Exactly. Like
Deep depression.
I would say it's perfectly reasonable to say, like, man, his lyrics are getting progressively more depressing. He's just putting on a more dour look. Like, these tends to be the signs before someone ends up hurting
Yeah,
themselves.
Nav would be like, I just took 230s. Now I'm in my zone.
Rest in peace, Mac.
Yeah,
man.
right. Yo, he's gonna go. Yeah, Mac went out. Rest in
Miller,
peace.
bro.
Love Mac Miller, man.
Yeah, man. he was
Rest in
fucked up,
peace. Yo, we're just running over an hour now, man. I'm gonna call it. Appreciate you coming on, bro. I want to have you on again. You should start your own podcast, bro.
Fuck it,
talking about the youth shelter stories and shit.
Fuck
I don't
yeah,
figure it out, bro. You're fucking hilarious,
Thank
and you got
thank
the sickest vibes, bro.
Yeah, thank you for having me out, bro.
Yo.
Appreciate it.
Anytime, bro. Just do it again soon, okay?
For sure.
Peace.
Peace and love.